Good morning, friends. Welcome to Bali, Indonesia. Once again, I'm here at the pad, and yeah, it's a coffee rant. Sorry about the glasses. I just woke up. It looked terrible. I've got the pad here. Morning practice. The morning meditation. Gotta get warmed up. Okay. Today I want to talk about something very interesting before I start the day because it affects all artists everywhere. It has to do with Chat GPT. You guys know about this technology, maybe. If not, you really have to get up to what's going on because it's going to affect everybody. It's going to overwhelm the world in a few more years, okay? I watched a part of a Joe Rogan podcast. If you don't know who Joe Rogan is, he's the biggest podcaster there is. He's massive, okay? Very interesting guy. But today they were talking about Chat GPT and how somebody asked for a picture of the happiest rabbit in the world, right? So the Chat GPT spits out this rabbit image, and he's in nature and he's smiling, and the user says, no, no, I want the happiest rabbit in the world, like happier, right? So another image comes out. This rabbit is totally smiling and he's out in nature and he's got a big smile, and the user says, no, 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 happier, right? So Chat GPT spits out another image of this rabbit, and there's light rays behind him, and he's totally smiling, and there's all these light rays behind him, like sunshine and stuff. And then the user says, you don't understand. Happiest rabbit in the universe, right? So the next image is of this rabbit who has transcended his like rabbit form and is half human, and he's doing like this yoga pose and he's smiling, and there's all these light rays behind him, and all these fantastic colors in the sun and blah blah blah. The user says, no, 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 happier, the happiest in the universe, right? So the image of the rabbit comes back is no longer a rabbit. He's transcended all physical form, and he's turned himself into a mandala, right? There's, again, these light rays in this real ethereal looking image. The rabbit is now a mandala, is no longer a rabbit. Now, why am I wanting to talk about this? Because Chat GPT basically is something that steals all this stuff from thousands and thousands of images and puts it all together, right? It's not creating something. It's putting together amalgamations of things that artists have worked on, and it's presenting it as some creation of its own. I don't think that's right, okay? Why do you guys think that Disney and all these major corporations are not touching this technology right now? It's because they are getting ready for major lawsuits all over the place, just waiting for somebody to use whatever product they've spit out, whatever Disney products that they've produced, or whatever other companies, and they're going to sue the living bejesus out of these people. Okay, now they're probably not going to sue small users, but maybe if somebody like Coca-Cola or Under Armour or whatever big corporation uses bits that belong to Disney, they're going to get the shaft. Okay, it's going to be huge problems. Why do I also know about this? Because I'm a photographer as well, as you guys know, and I was recently paid by Adobe a fee for AI usage, right? It's basically, I'm consenting to let my images be used by AI, and they pay me a fee to do so, right? They pay me, it wasn't a whole lot, but it was okay. They pay me a fee for my library of images in stock photography to be used by Adobe as AI material. Adobe is an agency. You know, I have an agency. I have several agencies where I sell my photographs. But that's what they do. They are paying artists, okay, for permission, that which is the correct thing to do, okay. But a lot of these things, like the rabbit thing and other issues, you know, people aren't getting paid. And as musicians, we are going to get the short end of the stick again, because in general, musicians have no backbone. We have no union. We have no protection for ourselves. We get ripped off constantly. Spotify is a complete joke. You know, piracy, all kinds of things that have been going on for a long time now that nobody does anything about. You know, everybody thinks it's perfectly okay to get put on Spotify and, you know, get a million views and get 50 cents, right? You think that's okay, just to be famous, you know. This technology is going to kick our ass in a few years, maybe 5 years, 10 years. You know, it's going to be really massive, and we have to get on top of it now. Okay, so if you're like a hobby drummer, hobby musician, maybe this is not going to affect you so much, and you can enjoy the purity of learning an instrument, or, you know, playing for your enjoyment. But if you're a pro, or even if you're a writer, you know, any kind of graphic artist, all these things are involved in ChatGPT. Of course, you've heard of the songs where, you know, could take a sample of Frank Sinatra's voice for like 2 seconds and they turn a whole song into a, you know, a new song with the samples from Frank or whoever. You know, it's an abomination. It's really horrible. You know, from an artist's point of view, this makes me sick, you know. So what to do about it? I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. You know, with the drum machine, as you know, any drummer who watches this channel, we all suffered through that. And what the solution was to basically make the drum machine a tool as we use any other tool. But the fact is that it gave access to anybody who could do ping, 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 and, you know, kind of ruined the market. You know, if we want to talk straight for live drumming, it transformed it into something else. Now it's something else, you know, and who's to say whether it's good or bad? I just don't want people to lose work, you know. I just don't want musicians to let themselves get screwed over and not be aware of the things that are coming, right? Now, what is interesting here, sorry, I'm outside and there's flying birds, and I was looking around for birds because they're so beautiful, you know, flying around here. I'll give you a shot in a second. And but there's insects as well, so I hope you can hear well. There's this lapel mic. Anyway, the representation of the mandala, right? When Joe Rogan put that up there, that photo that came out, a mandala is a very deep graphic representation of the world, right? Of spiritual things. You know, look up what a mandala is. It's too hard to explain. But there is this professor, Professor Mandelbrot, who, through the use of fractal geometry, created these computer images, right, that look a lot like mandalas. They have this fractal, let's say, well, imagery that can spread into the infinite, right, graphically. Now, I guess it's mathematics, not I guess, it's mathematics that are creating these images. But the thing is that mathematics is very interesting, and so is rhythm. Oh my God, these bugs are going crazy. They're screaming because There's a new hotel being built over here, and they're cutting down the jungle. Okay, it's crazy that a mandala and the Mandelbrot set are so similar because they are, in actuality, an incredible representation of how rhythm works as well. Rhythm and mathematics is pretty tied in together. So when you understand, how to use rhythm this way as a musician, especially drummer, percussionist of any kind, your playing just opens up like you just like blossom incredibly. It's incredible that fascinating that the act or the mention of blossoming or happiness or transcending your body, your physical form, takes the shape of a mandala through Chat GPT. Because what it is rhythm at its core. Those are rhythmic values. Of course, it takes a drummer, a musician, to see that, you know. But it makes you realize why you get such a dopamine hit, why it's so fascinating to play drums, why you experience these out-of-body sensations when you play. It's because it's all a representation of the universe, and when you play, you are a manifestation of that representation, where you are at that moment physically. And you are manipulating all those properties to create a flow of energy, power. People feel it, it exists, and that's the pure fact, okay? So as artists, we need to understand what's going on here to control our lives, to be better in control of our business, let's say, not control our lives, because nobody has control over that. But we need to understand, like needed to understand the drum machine at the time and make it a part of our thing, okay? So the bugs are getting crazy. Maybe I'll just show you around a little bit. There's the pool. Pool is looking great. Here's the jungle I was trying listening. Listen to that. Okay. Right across the way, I guess they're building a really huge hotel. A Russian corporation building a hotel. This is where they have the offerings every day. And yeah, that's what's going on, friends.